new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day one, or day two, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, a podcast dedicated to the history and lore of the Final Fantasy series. Join us as we take a deep dive into the different worlds, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I am one of your hosts, Ben of Temeria, followed by the two other hosts of the show, Steven.
Yo, what's up?
And Trey.
Hello.
And this week, we are starting our Season 2. And with Season 2, I was brainstorming what we could do. And none and behold, we are starting Season 2 and going with Summons this entire season. And this season might be a little bit longer than last season, obviously Season 1, and it might be one of our longer seasons in general for a little bit, because there's so many summons in the Final Fantasy series. But we are going over the most prominent one, and the most iconic summon, at least now, thanks to 16, which is Ifrit.
So, I just want to say that it's Ben's opinion. I do not think that 16 makes Ifrit the premier.
That's fair, and I'm only saying that because he is on the box cover, he's in all the trailers, and if you go to any of the conventions currently right now, Square Enix has a giant statue of Ifrit everywhere they go.
Is Yoshi P a big Ifrit guy? Like, I obviously haven't made it far enough into 14, and we'll probably discuss it.
So, yeah, and we'll discuss it in this episode. Yeah, I would say Yoshi P likes Ifrit, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
The original ending, I think, for 16 was Diablo, him turning into the Diablo sky, and they ended up going with Ifrit, from what I remember reading.
Yeah,
or like the early pitch.
So, and that's another thing we'll go over in this episode. Ifrit does have multiple incarnations and different looks throughout the series. But this is a bit summary of Ifrit. So, Ifrit is also called a Djinn, or Ifrit, is a recurring fire elemental summon in the Final Fantasy series. His signature attack is Hellfire, sometimes called Inferno or Flames of Hell, that deals fire elemental damage and to all opponents. He is one of the most frequently appearing summons and is often a rival to the ice summon Shiva. And then, like most recurring summons, Ifrit's appearance is different in each game, but remains somewhat similar. He has become increasingly beast-like and less demonic-looking as the series evolved. The shift started in Final Fantasy VIII. In general, Ifrit has brown skin, has long horns and claws, and is covered by a simple kilt-like covering around his waist.
It's pretty generous. It's more like a Tarzan loincloth.
Yeah. It's not a kilt. It's definitely not a kilt.
I like you mentioning that Shiva's the rival, because in 8, so we mentioned earlier, so when you start 8, Quizicist is coming with you on Squall to go do your test. She gives you your summon, which is Quetzalcoatl, and hers is Shiva. but through like the tutorial definitely frames it as Shiva and Ifrit being rebels. I think when you summon Shiva, Ifrit even has dialogue referencing their rivalry.
Interesting. Okay. See, I haven't played 8 yet, so that's another game
I was
need
gonna
to play.
say.
There's too many.
I
have
we know.
much.
We
Too
we didn't know. Steve and myself did not know who the summon was until the last minute, so I don't have time to go and see what the dialogue was or double check. But I'm 95% sure that when you summon Shiva, there is a special dialogue for it.
Oh, alrighty then. So now we're going to get into the appearances that Ifrit has made. So Ifrit first appeared in Final Fantasy III. Ifrit can be summoned by evokers and summoners. He is attained by purchasing the level 4 summon magic spellbook Hitra. And then, depending on the job summoning Ifrit, he can be used the following abilities. So white summoning, healing magic, heals all party members. Black summoning Hellfire deals fire damage to a single target, and then high summoning Inferno deals fire damage to all enemies. So with Final Fantasy III, depending on what mage is summoning Ifrit, determines on what effect he has in combat.
Interesting. It's all right. We got to get to it. I know. Sorry. I can't think of the name right now. Whoever is in the Discord who's been talking to me, I can't think of the name right now, but been trying to get us to play the first 6 games. I would like to talk to him more about this since they'll know more about it.
Oh yeah, and then we now go to Final Fantasy IV. So Ifrit, or Jin in the SNES release, is attained when Rydia rejoins the party. It is a casting time of 4, cost of 30 MP, and deals fire elemental damage to all opponents. In the easy type version, the casting time was reduced to 3. And
I imagine 3 is probably the last time then that we have a healing version of Ifrit.
I believe so.
I was just waiting to see on 4 because I didn't remember it having that option, but I also didn't know it had the option for 3. But I think that's kind of unique for 3 at least, so that's cool.
And then Final Fantasy V. So Ifrit is a level 2 summon, fought in the Library of the Ancients. There's dialogue between him and Ramuh if the player found the latter. According to the NPC on the roof of the library, Ifrit's purpose was to burn books possessed by monsters. Ifrit costs 11 MP to summon and deals fire damage to all opponents. And then now we have Final Fantasy VI. So we're just blazing through these. Ifrit is an Esper whose magic power was drained. He's acquired in the Magitech Research Facility after being fought as a boss. His attack is called Hellfire, Inferno in the NES and PS translations, which costs 26 MP, has a spell power of 51, and cannot be blocked. He teaches Fire times 10, Freya times 5, and Drain times 1, and then at level up he gives a +1 boost to Strength. So, you learned stuff from Ifrit.
I guess I hadn't made it that far in 6 to get all that. I feel like I made it far, but maybe not. I don't think I got any summons or any Espers.
And then now we get to Final Fantasy VII, which obviously a lot of us were introduced to first, generally. And then, so Ifrit is a summon material and can be found on the cargo ship after defeating Genova Birth. His materia is a fire elemental and thus works like a elemental materia. His attack Hellfire deals fire damage to all enemies. He costs 34 MP to summon. Ifrit's spell power is equal to 1.6875 times the base magic damage. And Ifrit is also one of the available summons in the 1997 PlayStation demo and Mount Coral PC demo.
What is that?
How many people do you think missed that Ifrit summon in Final Fantasy VII? Because you have to climb up the ladder and walk around the thing and see. They make it pretty obvious I feel like it's really hard to miss. I think it's a small percentage, but there's definitely people who miss that summon, right?
I mean, you really got to be not looking. Because
Yeah.
it's right there. They put it like, they pan it like up towards the top left of the camera to where you're going to see it. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever missed it. And I was usually not very perceptive, especially as a young man when I was playing these
I
games.
don't. Yeah, I would have to say like of 1,000 players, I bet like 2 people maybe missed it.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. They place it right there in your view.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was kind of, they panned it to where, hey, there's a materia here. Go get it.
Yeah,
Because
like, hey, look,
so
these are a red one.
The reason I bring it up is I played one time and I did not go in prepared. And so you fight the boss and then you have to go up and get the thing. And I don't remember even, I don't think there's, do you remember if there's enemies or not?
I don't think after you beat Genova the first time, I don't think there is.
I don't remember if there was or not, but I remember.
If there is, it's like
I only had one character left alive. I had to use all of my Phoenix Downs and stuff. And so I beat the boss and I realized I was going to have to walk to go get it. And so I just quit and started over because I knew like I was not going to go through the frustration of beating that boss and then dying from something small trying to get that. And so I contemplated trying to leave it and just leaving the room. And I was like, no, it's too special. I have to get it.
I mean, it's bright red, and I think it's the first one you get.
It's the first one you get. They make it so obvious that you would have to be doing something else to miss it.
Or do you get that? Or do you get Choco Mog first in 7? I forget. Because you definitely
if you do, we're not counting that one.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say I think you get that one from the Chocobo place pretty early on.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, now we have the Final Fantasy VII remake. So obviously this is the one that came out back in 2020 during all the, lockdown and everything. But it was a good time to be a Final Fantasy fan during this lockdown because let me tell you, being able to play play 7 without having to go to work was fantastic. But nonetheless, Ifrit is a summon and is the only summon that is tamed as part of the story, as Jesse gifts it to Cloud. It is a powerful fire beast that fights alongside the player. It punches and breathes fire onto enemies on its own, and the player can expand their ATB to command it to attack a specific foe. When it exits, it engulfs the battle arena in flames by using Hellfire, its ultimate attack.
I do like how the remake, I didn't love a lot of things about the remake, but I did love how they treated summons in the remake, how it kind of is just there in the background and it's helping you out, and you can choose to, just like with your own abilities, you can use abilities. You can choose to do Hellfire, but it's not just like it absorbs your whole party and does one big attack like in the original.
Right. I mean, I enjoyed the remake a lot. And a lot of the things they changed, this is one of it. I actually really enjoyed the change to combat as a whole, but how they did summons in this game was a lot of fun because it was like you summoned them and then they fought alongside you rather than, like you said, like just being a cutscene and dealing damage.
Right.
It felt more immersive.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It felt almost like a blend between like the regular summons we're used to and then like Final Fantasy X.
A little bit, yeah. Well, it's 10, that it takes over your whole party and you only get to use that. But yeah.
Well, in 10 you summon it and then you have the attacks and the moves, and then your overdrive is your main move. But unlike in 7 you summon Ifrit and boom, it does one attack and you're done. In 10 you summon Ifrit and you attack as him, so you like attack or you cast fire or all that stuff. I feel like the 7 remake, it's a nice blend between the two.
Yeah. So now we jump to Final Fantasy VIII, which we were talking about a little bit ago. So Ifrit is the third available Guardian Force obtained by defeating him in the Fire Cavern before the Timeline time limit runs out. The time limit on the clock after the battle counts towards the judgment score of the player's seed exam. When summoned, Ifrit uses Hellfire, a powerful fire elemental attack, against all enemies. His compatibility items are Bomb Fragment and Red Fang, and the opposing Guardian Force, whose summoning depletes his compatibility the most, is Shiva. He learns HP J and Strength J, and strength boosting support abilities, as well as elemental attack and defense junctions. His unique ability are Strength Boosts or Strength Bonus, which gives a permanent stat boost upon leveling up. Mad Rush, a command ability that puts the party in a berserk with haste and protect, and Refine abilities that let the player make fire magic and ammo from items. His triple triad card is one from his boss encounter.
I think of a move. Berserk, haste, and protect. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Here's 3
Yeah, you
buffs
get after
for
it.
you. Good luck. Have fun. You're gonna BOP for a short time.
Yeah, just whack away. You'll be all right. No need to draw.
Right. And then now we have Final Fantasy IX. So Ifrit is obtained from Dr. Tote after the party returns from the outer continent, as Dagger learns it is from learns it through the topaz for 20 AP. Its summon attack is Flames of Hell, dealing fire damage to all opponents. Ifrit's spell power is equal to 42 plus the total number of topazes in the party's inventory. Before Dagger has her Eidolons extracted, Ifrit cost 104 MP to summon, but later costs 26 MP. Dagger already has Ifrit in the beginning of the game, but for quadruple the MP costs. She is unlikely to gain enough MP to summon him. After relearning him, the MP cost is reduced. Ifrit also appears as a Tetra Master card, one off the Eidolons Master in Trano's Card Stadium in the endgame.
Well, Ben, we've been trying to dance around this whole thing for you.
Hey, now I know that Dagger's not going to be completely useless in my party.
It will become more obtainable, yes. So the interesting thing with 9, and it's a mechanic that you can exploit, is that the topazes, they're accessories you can add on, and the more you get of them, the more powerful the summon is. So, like, let's say you have 99 topazes. That's the most powerful that summon would be. That's the most powerful Ifrit can be.
Gotcha. And then Yo's Sharp in chat does say Ifrit makes nervous comments if you use Shiva against him in 8.
That's
Awesome,
what we're
thank
talking
you.
about, Trey.
So, yeah, that's what we have in 9. And it's good to know for me because it's my current playthrough. One of the Final Fantasies I'm playing. There's just too many games out right now. It's not a really... It's a great time to be a gamer, but it's also a terrible time to be a gamer because there's too much to play with so little time.
I'm telling you, once we record that episode for Final Fantasy IX that we're going to be putting out, it's going to get you back on the 9 train. You're going to get off that podcast and just go jump right back in.
That's fair. That's probably going to happen anyway. That probably will happen. But at this point, we are going to take a quick mid-break and be right back.
This summer, say I do
I am marrying a stranger.
like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts,
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name's Paul Brunson.
more couples,
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
and more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tiers. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show where we talk about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. And at this point, I just want to thank everybody listening to the show and supporting us. And if you do want to support us, there's a few options you can do that. First off, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/Final Fantasy Lorecast, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show. And you can also support us through Apple and Spotify. Apple, if you leave a 5-star review with some words, we'll read it out loud the next time on the show. As well as a nice comment on a Spotify episode. We'll read that out loud on the show as well, which we do have one this week. It was on our last week's episode. And it is from Michael Barnes. Hey, I just want to say you guys are doing a great job. Can't wait till you go in depth with Final Fantasy VI. 10 out of 10 crystals. Well, thank you, Michael. Like, that's awesome.
We're on our way. We'll get to 6.
Yeah, eventually.
Until then, we'll rely on Trey to give us all our 1 through 6 information.
Yes. And then also you can join us on a few Discords. We have the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, to where you can find the channel for this and the server, as well as my own Discord, Ben and Friends Podcasting, to where you can find this show, the other shows I host, the Wizarding World Lorecast, Holocron Histories, and when you're listening to this, this will be posted on the 15th. I will be a host for the Witcher Lorecast this week. So you will be now hearing me on the Witcher Lorecast as a regular host.
Nice. I didn't think you had enough work to do. I'm glad you added another one in there.
Right, I know. I'm a busy person.
And he wonders why he doesn't have time to play any games. Also, Sharp in the comments asked if we talked about how he was a librarian in 5 who burned the books. We didn't actually mention that he was a librarian. We just mentioned that he was tasked with burning books. But we did not actually mention that he was a librarian. So thank you for mentioning that in the chat.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, and then we also do record these episodes typically on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific. I had to think about math there for a second. On my Twitch channel, Ben of Temeria. And yeah, just join us there. We have a lot of fun. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. Talk about everything. We're all 3 are going to be playing Baldur's Gate. So if you want to talk Baldur's Gate, join the Discord. So
I'm currently doing a playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII. If anyone wants to come on and talk Final Fantasy VIII with me, that would be fantastic. I'm also going to try and... So we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy IX on the podcast here. I'm going to try and stream more. So I'm planning on trying to stream like an hour a week of Final Fantasy IX. I haven't figured out what day and what time yet, but that is something I'm looking to do going forward.
Awesome. I'm also playing 9. I'm just not streaming it because I'm not that technologically advanced. I'm also playing 12, so if anybody has anything to say about 12, which most people don't, it's not a super popular entry.
So good.
But it is great, yeah. I'm about to finish
16 is Game of Thrones, 12 is Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a good look at it, yeah. Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
yeah, I would say, that's a good look. Because 16 is totally Game of Thrones vibes. Completely.
Well, the first few hours anyway.
Well, yeah, fair point. Yeah, true. But with that, we are going to get back into more Ifrit.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Also, before we go into Final Fantasy X, Yozit Sharp does ask Trey to link your Twitch channel so he can follow you. So, he'll do that. So, yeah, we are now in Final Fantasy X. So, Ifrit is an Aeon attained in Kilika Temple? Is that how you say it? Kilika Temple. Words. Created from a former crusader who allowed himself to become a faith. His unique ability is Meteor Strike, in which Ifrit conjures a ball of fiery rock and punches it towards the enemy, penetrating the enemy's protect status. Ifrit's Overdrive is Hellfire, where he bathes the enemy's party in a ball of raising flame and then throws a chunk of earth at them, causing fire damage. Wakka's upgraded World Champion weapon allows Ifrit to break the damage limit of 9,999 hit points. He joins the party knowing fire, no blaze, no frost, and he inherently absorbs fire elemental damage.
Yes.
So.
Pretty cool how you can, so he knows fire and you can actually use fire on, so whenever you summon in 10, it takes away your party and you just have the summon there. And you can cast fire on yourself, which will heal. And so you can just keep letting an enemy attack you. Then you use fire on yourself, which heals you back up. So you can boost up your overdrive gauge, which is how you get Hellfire, which is a little way to beat a lot of the bosses there. Is just go in with a whole bunch of summons with their overdrive gauges completely filled up and just go in and just bombard them with your big moves.
Because once you use it, the opponent gets like 7 moves in a row, and you're toast. But you get that one big move, and that's what you're after.
Yeah.
And I do want to remind everybody, like, this is Ifrit at this point is still, if I recall, is still like the demonic look demon.
Yeah, I think 10 he is sort of. He's not like he was like in 7. He looked like literally looks like he comes out of hell. And by the time you get to 10, he's not quite. I mean, yeah, she does.
I mean, he's like a beast, though. I don't feel like he looks like a demon.
He's more like, it kind of reminded me of Cerberus whenever I first saw the summon, when I first booted up 10. Just, you know, Cerberus, he gets called up from hell. He kind of has that beastly, kind of almost doggish kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminded me of in 10.
So now we have Final Fantasy XI. So this is the first MMO. So Ifrit is one of the 6 sleeping gods and is an avatar available to summoners representing the fire element. Players can attain him upon completion of the quest Trial by Fire. Alternatively, a brave low-level summoner may go on the quest Trial by Fire and defeat Ifrit in battle alone under the level 20 restriction. Rather than a group, Ifrit is not used as often for Blood Pact wards as many of the other avatars. Ifrit is also name of one of the servers. Which, yeah, they typically name servers after a lot of the summons. Or important characters and all that. Ifrit's strength lies in dealing large damage. Ifrit holds the honor of proving players to be capable of dealing over 9,999 damage. Summoners can deal well over 10,000 damage with Ifrit's Flaming Crush against the notorious monster Quotrub, known as Mashdon. 11 is weird, just letting you know. Who has very low defense, takes double damage from all attacks. It's weak against fire and can have its defense further lowered by a Dia 2. After the Flaming Crush has been seen hitting for 10,000 to just over 14,000 damage, although the resist or parallel miss is still possible, dealing only a fraction of this damage. Although Flaming Crush was the first ability capable of dealing such tremendous damage, the item Primeval Brew, introduced in the Abyssa expansion trio, allows any high-level job to deal over 10,000 damage with a variety of abilities and spells. So this is a lot of MMO talk, just blatantly out there.
Yeah.
And then the legend of the Avatar comes from a general named Ifrit, a ruthless, bloodthirsty man. He participated in many battles. He once discovered a baby in the ruins of his village his men had burned down, who smiled at him despite his fearsome appearance, which moved his heart. He took the little girl named Falbulb and entrusted her to care with a couple of servants, watching over her as she grew up. Survivor Ifrit's ravages banded together and attacked his home, killing both his servants and Falbulb. Angered and saddened that innocent souls had paid for his crimes, Ifrit decided to accept retribution. He ascended to the top of a volcano where the soul of the dead were said to gather during a solar eclipse. When the next
fun.
Right, yeah, that's totally good to do. Yes.
Oh, I like how it kind of gave a backstory to the summon, which we haven't really gotten in any of the other games to my knowledge.
Yeah. The MMOs typically tie more. I want to say 11 was like when they started to like actually put more of a backstory and more lore to the summons, rather than just them being in the game.
Before they were just, they were just gods that you summoned to do a big attack. Yeah.
Yep. And then when the next eclipse occurred, the ghost that he had slain attacked him, their curses transforming him into a demon. Falbulb's spirit tried to impose itself between Ifrit and the spirits attacking him, but Ifrit turned away from her, afraid to let her see his hideous new form. Undaunted by his demonic appearance, she smiled at him without a word of reproach. Ifrit prayed to Altana to exchange his life for hers. His wish was granted, but Altana soon saw that Falbulb was unhappy. She thus took both her and Ifrit to the heavens, rewarding the general's repentance and the girl's devotion. And the legends that were born of the story, Ifrit was renamed Ifrit, Ifrit of the Flames, and Falbulb was the name of the brightest red star of the Ifrit constellation.
Listen, this better not make me want to play 11.
Well, you'll have to play it on PC.
Ugh,
because that's the only way you can play it.
That PC. Sounds fascinating.
And
I really like
it's still subscription based. Just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, that does. I really really like that.
That makes me want to watch a YouTube video of Final Fantasy XI.
There you go. Watch YouTube.
That's fair. That's a better idea.
Just watch YouTube.
Like that. That's true.
So now we have Final Fantasy XII. So the Esper
strap in.
Belius replaces Ifrit as the fire type summon. However, Ifrit is the name of an airship and the Arcadian fleet.
Yeah, the Arcadian. Yeah, they don't really do. I mean, they kind of do summons in 12. It's completely different than any of the other games that I've experienced. You set them in there, so you have your job board. And there are big bosses that you fight, kind of like in 16, and they become summoned, but they're not the usual summon. I don't remember seeing any of the same summons that you've seen in any of the other games. Like it says here, Belius is basically Ifrit, but
I don't remember using any of the summons in 12, to be honest.
They're not good. Like when you use them in the game, it's very similar to
they're
the
not
7.
Good.
No, when they're very similar to the 7 remake, how they kind of just follow you around and you can use their move, but they're not helpful really. They're like 7, but not helpful. So you can use them, but they're really just there to unlock a different portion of the job board for each character.
All right, well, we have another small section here coming up for 13, so let's get through that one so then Ben can get to 14.
Yeah, because there's a lot in 14. So yeah, 13, Ifrit appears during the Pompa Sancta show at Natalius. He serves as the Eidolon for the Pulse IC, who leads the invasion of Cocoon. During the show, he battles with Ramuh. So, yeah, that's 13. Ifrit and Ramuh fight each other.
Is
Fun
it like
stuff.
a show? Trey will have to help us out with that one.
I'm not sure.
Familiar with 13.
It is.
I'm pretty sure it's like
It's a popular event held in Natalius.
They're doing like
Fantasy
fireworks,
13.
I think, if I remember correctly when it happens.
It's like a gold saucer kind of thing.
Kinda. Ish, maybe. It's more like
more like Luca. Is it Luca in Final Fantasy X? That's the one big town with the big Blitzball stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like, say, Luca having a big fireworks show over the Blitzball stadium afterwards, and then along the skyline, and then boom, you have two Aeons fighting it out.
Gotcha.
So now we have Final Fantasy XIV, my favorite game of Final Fantasy.
Is it?
Is it? I wonder. So this is the game where they really changed Ifrit's appearance completely, almost, or actually entirely. He is more lizard and beast-like, with that demonic feel, but very, very bestial. So Ifrit is the primal worship by the Amalja beast tribe, who they plan to summon to fight the Garlean Empire. Much like how wildfires consume everything in their path, Ifrit prefers to temper as many individuals are possible to serve his will. As a result, the Amalja kidnap people in Thanalan to be taken to the Bowl of Embers and anointed in Ifrit's flames. The victims gradually lose sense of reality and become factional worshippers of the Lord of Inferno. And then Ifrit is fought as a boss in the Bowl of Embers, the Bowls of Embers Hard, the Bowl of Embers Extreme, Trials, as well as the second encounter of the Weapons Refrain Ultimate Raid added in the Stormblood expansion. His signature attack is Hellfire, which is cast shortly after summoning a number of nails on the battlefield. The strength of the spell is determined how many of these nails are left intact. Defeating Ifrit rewards players with fire-themed weapons and materials to craft furniture. And yes, if you leave those nails on the battlefield and he uses Hellfire, it's an instant wipe. He literally just kills all of you.
I just put a picture of him there in the Discord.
Okay.
It has Garuda, Ifrit, and Ramuh from 14. It looks pretty interesting.
Garuda and Ramuh look like they're traditional looks from the series. They don't really change a whole lot.
Ramuh is like he's like a centaur is what it looks like almost. And Ifrit just literally looks like a demon.
Okay, yeah, those are not from 14.
No?
Those are definitely not from 14.
Well, Google lied to me then.
Google did lie to you because that is not their looks.
Dang it. What did I just look up? Yeah.
Or they might be way later in the game. I think
maybe
Ifrit does get a change. Summoners can summon a Ifrit Igni to aid them in battle. And then another Ifrit is fought as a boss alongside Garuda in the Eden Raid series of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, manifested from the memories of the Warriors of Darkness to restore the life of the empty. While Garuda appears remains largely unchanged, the Ifrit design differs greatly as the other Eden primals. His body is more humanoid and smaller in frame, and while his horns are enlarged, consisting multiple branches, halfway during the battle, the two bosses fuse to form Rakapashka with Ifrit's mind, whose appearance primarily made of Ifrit with addition to Garuda's wings. And defeating Rakapashka in both story and savage modes will reward the player with currency, which can be exchanged for powerful equipment. So yes, so you were right. So that picture, the first picture you sent is the Ifrit from the Eden raids, because that is from the Warriors of Darkness, from Shadowbringers. It's from their world of Ifrit. Where the Ifrit of 14 of the Warriors of Light is a completely more bestial look.
Yeah, Sharp put it in the chat. It's, it literally looks like a lizard.
Yeah.
Looks like Randall from Monsters, Inc.
I wouldn't say that. He's not like a serpent-like. He's a lizard, but not that serpentine.
I mean, he's got the whole hunchback, like, hunched over thing.
So now we have Final Fantasy 15. So Ifrit is the Infernian, is the astral god of fire. He appears as a horned humanoid on a flaming throne and is said to despise humans. Ifrit has more human appearance than previously in the main series. So yeah, he's more human in 15. Although a lot of the, I would say a lot of the summons in 15 went more of a humanoid-ish route. I mean, obviously not Leviathan, because you can't make Leviathan a human thing. But
I was going to say, yeah.
Shiva was always already like humanoid, and Titan's always typically considered more humanoid. And then now we have Final Fantasy XVI, last but not least. So Ifrit is an icon that appears to reveal in the reveal trailer. Awakening is also featured in the game's logo, clashing with the Phoenix. Ifrit is a fire elemental icon whose dominant is Clive Rosfield. And that's all we're going to go, because that's really all you need to know for 16.
That's absolutely not all you need to know, but that's all we can talk about right now.
I mean, if you're trying to explain it in the general sense, that's really all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There's a lot more to it, but that's all you really need to know.
There's a lot more to it, yeah.
So if you want to learn more about Ifrit in 16, go and play 16.
Yeah. Give us a few months and maybe we'll talk about it then.
And then we do actually have an etymology.
That's going to be our Christmas present to ourselves. Is we're just going to get to go. We're going to do a 16 deep dive into the story. Just have like 2 podcasts where we just dive into 16.
Yeah, if Ben finishes it by then we can talk about it.
I should have it. Hopefully, I should have it finished by then.
Oh, fingers crossed.
So now we have the etymology. So in Arabian mythology, Ifrit, also spelled Ifrit or Ifrit from Arabic, is the name given to a class of jinn, demons also known as jinn, jinji, or genie, that embody fire. Though they would live for thousands of years, they were not immortal, and if cut, they would bleed, quote-unquote, the fire running through their veins until it consumed their bodies. And then Ifrit has also been called a jinn, Jinn, not like Djinn, which is typically how you would say jinn. Or spell it.
Well, yeah. I like that it actually... So I've always called it Ifrit, though, my whole life. It's one of those things where you never hear it pronounced, and then once you do. Mm-hmm. But seeing that the etymology is actually like, it's spelled Ifrit, you're like, okay, well, it's Ifrit then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the jinn, also spelled jinn, Dijinn, or genies, are spirits mentioned in the Quran, Quran, thank you, and Islamic theology, who inhabit an unseen world in dimensions beyond the visible universe of humans. Together, the jinn, humans, and angels make up the 3 sentient creations of God. The Hellfire attack draws reference to the jinn, Shaitan, or Satan's role in Islamic thought as the holy Quran. It always slips me up. Describes him as refusing to prostrate himself before mankind due to believing that he, as a creature of fire, was superior to humanity.
Yeah, similar to like a fallen angel kind of thing.
Or, the Satan from Christian mythology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which explains why he looks so much like a devil sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They took just... the etymology just explains, like, this is why he looks like a demon, like, through most of the series. Until, like, later...
You mentioned he... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say until later entries into the series where they went more of a bestial look instead of a demon.
Yeah.
I just noticed you said they bleed fire. I wonder if the fights in 16, I wonder if when they get cut, if he ever bleeds fire. I never noticed him bleed fire, but now I wonder if they ever actually incorporate that into the game at any point.
Now, like I've seen, so you see Ifrit get stabbed through 16, and I would say bleeds fire.
It's hard to tell. There's a lot going on the screen usually whenever there's a...
There is, but like...
But I feel like it's something I'd have to try and look for to see if that was something they were trying to project in their art.
If you go and play like the first 2 hours and like you play the prologue, at the very end of the prologue when you see... Spoiler alert, and we're at the end of the episode, so spoiler alert real quick. When Ifrit and the Phoenix fight each other, you can see Ifrit when he gets like attacked and gets pricked by the Phoenix and then all that. You see Ifrit being like bleeding fire.
That's true, yeah. You do see that.
That's like the best look to see him, like Ifrit actually bleeding fire, because the rest of the game is so fast paced that you will not notice. And you were concentrating on much more important things.
It's like Dance Dance Revolution with Final Fantasy. There's so much going on.
Excellent point.
But yeah, back to the point with Yoshi P. Yes, Ifrit's design in 16, you can easily tell that he took a lot of inspiration from their design that they did with 14.
I mean, I see more of like I see more of the 10 in the 16. So Sharp actually posted pictures of all his different iterations throughout the games, and if you look at the top right, that's from 10. And I think that's probably the most similar, or I guess the bottom left center. I don't know what game that's from.
I mean, they took they mashed together some things. I would say 14's pretty close because they both went the bistro route. It's just he's not as he's not like a lizard. He's an actual beast.
He's very lizard like in that 14.
Next week we'll make sure we're a little more prepared. It was pretty hectic with Ben switching jobs and everything going on over that way. So
that's true.
We'll have this picture. I love the picture Sharp sent. I'm hoping to find something just like it for the next one, and then we can just go and put numbers by each art rendition.
Yes, because I want to know where that white one is from. That's fascinating. I don't know which game that's from.
But yeah,
it looks like the PS1 art when they did the remasters of
for sure, yeah. Yeah.
So that would be my guess. Something in that region, that range.
Oh, 3. There you go.
All right. Well, there you have it. Is there anything else we want to add to Ifrit?
No, he's obviously the coolest. He was my first, I know Trey said that Quetzalcoatl was his first favorite summon. Ifrit was always my favorite. Just because I got him, I think he's the first one you get besides Chocomog, which we're not counting, obviously. But in 7, he's the first one you get after that. And he's always been my favorite.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would say he's probably one of my favorites as well. Next to a few others which are on the more dragon-like looks of things. So, yeah. So there's a little tease for you. But yeah, with that being said, thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net. You can find us on Twitter at FFLorecast, and you can email us at fflorecast@gmail.com.